it's been awesome, man, and it's really flown by. So it's been crazy that it just seems like we started yesterday. But it's been exciting watching these guys go to work, and I think that they've done a great job on focusing on us. So that's been huge, and that's what we've been trying to emphasize. We control what will be. So it's been fun watching them go to work every single day and continue to build off what was laid in the spring. And it's just excited to watch these guys go out and compete for real, where we can cut it loose and be able to get after somebody else for a whole day.
Karst, you had such a good year last year, and I know early in coming back, you stayed here almost all summer, and you talked about how much physically you want to get better, and it's shown. And just talk about the things that you've worked on in this camp to make yourself even better than you were last year.
So this fall camp, I just really focused on, obviously we got new coaches in the spring, and just continuing to learn their playbook and their philosophy of how things go. And another thing is just really bringing the team together as a unit, trying not to be separated between offense, defense, bringing everyone together as a team and really focusing on that aspect of it, and getting all the transfer guys and the new freshmen involved with everything, getting them in, getting them learning. Because I went through the same thing last year of being a transfer, being the new guy, not really knowing what to do. So just getting them to be able to come in right away and feel comfortable was kind of my main thing during camp.
And then Micah, for you on the defense, a lot of new faces on that defense. A veteran group still though on defense, but just not a lot of playing time. How do you guys mold with the new guys that are coming in, with the you guys that have been around for a while in the program for a while, even though you have a new coaching staff, probably your third coaching staff that you've had since you've been here. How do you guys mold together?
I mean, it's really just an interesting thing because, I mean, defense is defense. So we all kind of know what we're doing, and so it's kind of easy for us all to mesh together. With the new coaching staff, it's just been great because a lot of them are just really smart coaches that know how to bring us all together on the same page fairly quickly. And so it has been a pretty smooth transition meshing the new guys and the old guys. I mean, we have young guys that are still learning how to practice, how to play, how to read their playbooks properly. And so it's just working out the young guy hitches and stuff that most everyone goes through. And so it's been a pretty nice transition. We've been able to kind of come alongside them and help bring them up.
And then Coach, looking ahead to next week with first game of the year against William Jewell, let's talk about that matchup a little bit and what you know about them.
Well, it's going to be interesting because McGlinchey up there is in his second year now, so he's had time to kind of put his footprint on it and start to build that foundation for success. And we know he's smart and an educated guy, so we're excited just to go and get after it, be able to cut loose. What our big focus has been, like I said earlier, is 100% about us. We control what's going to happen here in the future. And I want these guys to go out and play fearless. We've got to be prepared, but we've got to be able to cut it loose and just let it fly. And, if we do things our way, I think that we're going to be in a position to win at the end of the night. So.
Questions?
Karst, Micah talked about getting the new guys kind of acclimated. Everybody's kind of new with the coaching staff, but you've got a lot of new guys too. I mean, you got new backfield, a lot of new receivers, line. You understand, you know who they are. Mm-hmm. But how has that kind of gone on the offensive side of the ball too?
Yeah, just like what Micah said, just getting everyone involved. It's been pretty easy, I'd say. Just getting the new transfers, especially the transfers, and then the freshmen, obviously. Just keeping them learning the playbook, the coaches, just other players on the team, hanging out with them off the field has been huge. Just getting to know people, getting to know who they are, where they're from, their background, because that translates to the field when it comes to play. You just trust people, and you just know who they are. So just keeping them involved with the playbook and everything is really what I've been doing, and everyone kind of correlates to that.
You came in last year, you transferred, you came in June-ish? July?
Yeah, June, July.
Yeah, so you're kind of learning on the go, you win the job, have a terrific third-year freshman year, old freshman year. Mm-hmm. But you're in a comfort zone, and then you have coaching changes, offensive changes. How has that been for you to kind of learn a new playbook and to move your game forward?
Yeah, at the end of the day, football is just football. It's the same game we've been playing since we were in 4th grade. It's the same concepts. The defenses are the same. The offenses are the same. It's just how the coaches portray it, a different language, different terminology. So learning a new playbook isn't hard. It's just learning their terminology and what they want you to do specifically, and then just meeting with the coaches every day and day in and day out and just learning them, learning how they coach, letting them know how you play, and just getting to know each other. And then when you go to practice, everything runs smoother because you know each other.
Everything you guys say, it's been an easy mesh for you guys, but there had to have been some struggles. Is it the language, or what was the hardest part of transition, if there was one?
I think one of the biggest struggles was we did lose a lot of guys. Guys transferring out, going with the previous coaching staff, and so I think Coach K and his staff did a really great job of bringing in a lot of guys with talent. And so I think one of the biggest struggles was just finding out what we had. We have a lot of young guys that I think will be coming up, but we have to kind of build them up into what they can be.
Kind of piggybacking off what Micah said, in the spring when Coach K got here and he brought in his new staff, obviously there were struggles at the beginning with players who kind of had doubt. Even people in the town kind of had doubt, like, we have a new staff, we just had a really good year, now we get a new staff, will we be able to do the same thing? But as the spring went on and workouts continued and he kept bringing in guys and he kept bringing in more coaches, and then spring ball kind of really eased it out for us. I just think that we all kind of meshed well together, and at the beginning I kind of figured there's going to be a rough patch with us learning them and them learning us. But once that kind of settled, like Coach said, we've just kind of hit the road and we've just been working ever since.
Yeah, and the follow-up, there's a lot of struggles, daily struggles, and adjustments that have to be made. But when everybody starts working for that common goal and really starts working for one another, and that's been what's been awesome about our leaders. They've been able to bring this thing together, and they want to win and they want to be successful. And so as we set out, it's not a goal for us to win, it's an expectation, and that's not because of what happened last year or the record that we had last year. It's about who we are as competitors. And that starts every day with the mindset to be able to get up and win the day. And when we do that, not only on the field, but in the classroom, and this week with starting school and everything else, these guys have had a lot on their plate. But they've came ready and focused in the morning to be able to get their work in. And, that's what's going to help us put it over the top.
Obviously, first game of the season, kind of the first litmus test that we get to see is media fans. How much of the playbook are you guys going to be opening up against Williams, or is it going to be kind of waiting a little bit further down the line?
Well, we'll do it by any means necessary. So whatever we need to do to go out and find a way to get a W is what we're going to do. So, with our schemes and what we do, it's about allowing these guys to play fast. So we're going to put them in positions to be successful and then let it cut loose. So see what Karst's arms got in there.
You brought in so many transfers, and I know a lot of guys are going to have to play big roles for you. Who are some of those guys that you're kind of seeing through camp that you think you're going to be able to look at and say, okay, he's going to be a guy?
Well, I think as you really look at it, though, Patty, and it was the same message that we really had in the spring. Yeah, we've got some key guys that we were able to bring in and can be playmakers, but what's really going to make up the, nuts and bolts of the team is what we had in the spring, and these guys putting in that work and being able to lay that foundation. So as you look at it right now with these two, along with a lot of others that were here, with Micah on the defensive side and Karst leading on the offensive side, we're going to rely on them to be able to get through those difficult times and handle that adversity when it comes. It's a game of ebbs and flows, so there's going to be those ups and downs, and we're going to rely on these guys that put in that extra sweat and that grit to be able to go out there and get it done and find a way to win.
A lot of people talk about football kind of sets the tone for an entire school year. I mean, every other sport kind of looks at football and how you guys get going, and I know you probably don't pay a lot of attention to that because you've got expectations to do what they're wanting you to do too, but is it kind of fun to be right out of the chute, first season?
Yeah, it is, because you don't got to wait. You don't got to wait through the whole school year to get started with your sport. You just kind of, we even start before school starts. So we start fall camp, and then school kind of starts, and then it just kind of flows all together and kind of makes the school year go by pretty fast, actually, having it in the fall, too, right out of the gate. And then I've always been told when the sports are good, school's fun, so.
There you go.
Yeah, I think being the first sport to really start this year is going to be awesome, because I think the success that we had last year encouraged the fans, and so I think we'll have a lot of goodwill coming in this year to really go out and show them what we can do this year and what we can bring to the table and really get the school going, get the school year start off with a nice kick.
I don't know, for me, Patty, it seems like it's been forever. So, hey, we're just excited to be able to go out there and compete against somebody else.
When you hear Coach say, I'm leaning on you, how much pressure does that put on the season? How much pressure does that put on your year?
I mean, when Coach K said, or when any coach says they're leaning on us, it really just builds our confidence, because we know that they've prepared us for them leaning on us. They've taught us well. They've brought us up, and even just the spring and fall camps that we've had, they've really showed us what they're expecting of us, and it's nothing that we as football players can't bear, that we as men can't bear, but we are excited to whenever they have that opportunity to let us just go, and they can kind of lean on us to take it from there, take control.
Yeah, kind of like what Micah said. It does put a little bit of chip on our shoulder, but at the end of the day, we just got to do what we do, and as Coach preaches, we just got to win the day. We just got to go into every game worried about us. When we worry about other people is when things start to go south. So just going into every game, focusing on what we have to do, and obviously when things are going bad, people are going to lean towards the leaders, and we just got to keep everyone calm and keep everyone controlled and just continue with what we're doing, and we're going to end up on top.
All right, question of the day. In the spirit of school starting, who was your favorite teacher growing up?
I'm biased. I'll be biased. I'm gonna say my dad. He taught me 3 years of my high school, so I'll be biased and say him. And he coached me my senior year of basketball and was my track coach. But just being able to not only have him as my dad, but being able to get taught in school and in sports and just learn other things and learn everything really from him is why I'd put him on top. But I'm biased, so.
I'm going to also say one of my parents. My mom was my favorite teacher because I was actually homeschooled until college, so she was about the only teacher that I knew. So shout out to my mom.
Me too. All right. Well, I've had a lot of good ones, so I've been blessed. But I'll give a shout out to Mr. Ron Elliott because I just saw him before I came in here today. I can't say that I remember a whole lot of sixth grade, but I do know that was his first year coaching basketball, and we went undefeated. So we got after it pretty good.